Fear begins here. Welcome to Legend and Nightmare, and let the terror unfold. Subscribe. I found the cabin on Airbnb, December 2023. Needed to get away from everything. Work, stress, relationship ending, city noise. Just wanted peace, quiet, solitude. Eastern Kentucky listing. 5 stars, 23 reviews, all positive. Perfect. Getaway, so peaceful, exactly what we needed. The photos looked amazing. Stone fireplace, wraparound porch, mountains everywhere. Host's name was Margaret, 74 years old according to her profile. Sweet messages. Very accommodating. Said the cabin had been in her family for generations. She'd recently started renting it out. Extra income. Meeting new people. Sharing the beauty of the mountains. Price was stupid cheap. $100 a night. In peak season. I asked why so low. She said she just wanted good people to enjoy it. Wasn't about the money. Red flag, right? Should have been. But I was desperate. Needed escape. Needed isolation. Needed this. So I booked 4 nights. Thursday through Monday. Long weekend. Perfect timing. December 14th. Thursday afternoon. The drive up was brutal. Narrow road, switchbacks, no guardrails. GPS lost signal 3 miles from the cabin. Had to use Margaret's printed directions, hand-drawn map, oddly detailed. Every tree marked, every turn measured, like she'd walked it herself. Counted steps, memorized everything. Strange, but helpful. The cabin was exactly like the photos. Maybe too exact. Same angle, same lighting, same everything. Like the photos were taken that morning. But they were from summer. Listing said so. Green trees in the background, flowers on the porch. Now everything was dead, brown, frozen. December in the mountains. Normal, expected. Still felt wrong. Somehow I grabbed my bags, walked to the door, found the key where Margaret said, under the mat. Original, I know. The door opened smooth. No creaking, no sticking, like it had been used recently. Used often. Inside smelled clean. Pine sol, lemon, fresh, too fresh. Like someone had just cleaned, just left, just been there. I called out anyway. Hello, Margaret. Silence, complete silence. No wind, no birds, no nothing. Just my voice, echoing, fading, gone. The interior was nice, rustic but maintained. Furniture looked old but sturdy. Fireplace was huge. Stone chimney going up through the ceiling. Wood already stacked inside. Kindling. Ready much as on the mantel. Thoughtful host. Good reviews made sense. Everything was perfect. Too perfect. That's what bothered me. Nothing was out of place. Nothing was worn. Nothing showed age. Despite being generations old. Despite being family cabin. Despite looking 60 years old minimum. I unpacked, made coffee, settled in, planned to relax, read, disconnect. Perfect. The first night was fine, quiet, peaceful, exactly what I needed. I made dinner, started a fire, read my book, went to bed around 11, slept great, best sleep in months, woke up refreshed. Ready? for a full day of nothing. Perfect vacation. Perfect escape. Perfect mistake. Friday morning I explored, walked the property. Margaret said, 10 acres, all mine to use. Trails everywhere, marked with red ribbons, faded but visible. I followed one, went deep into the woods, maybe half a mile. Found another cabin, smaller, older, abandoned, windows broken, door hanging, roof collapsed on one side. Curious, I got closer, looked inside. Empty, mostly. Just trash, old furniture, graffiti on the walls. Teenagers probably. Partying, vandalizing. Normal mountain stuff. I was about to leave when I saw it. A photo, framed, on the mantle. Covered in dust, but visible. The cabin I was staying in. Same angle, same view, same everything. But the photo was old. 70s maybe. Faded color, worn edges. And in front of the cabin, a family, parents, 3 kids, all smiling, all happy, all dead probably. Given the age, normal family photo, normal vacation memory, normal until I looked closer. Behind them, in the cabin window, a face, watching, pale, expressionless. Wrong. Stay with me here. Keep listening. And if you're enjoying these stories, hit that subscribe button. Because things in these mountains, they don't stay buried. They don't stay forgotten. They don't stay dead. I left the abandoned cabin fast. Didn't want to be there. Didn't want to think about it. Probably nothing. Probably reflection. Probably tricks of old photography. I convinced myself. Walked back. Made lunch. Tried to relax. But I kept thinking. That face. That window. That expression. And I realized. Same window. Same position. Same angle. As my cabin. The cabin I was staying in right now. That afternoon I checked the cabin. Every window, every reflection, every angle. Nothing, of course nothing. I was being paranoid, stressed, seeing things. The whole point of this trip was to decompress, not manufacture new anxiety. I laughed at myself, poured whiskey, sat on the porch, watched sunset, beautiful, orange and purple, mountains silhouetted, perfect, peaceful. Then I noticed, no sounds, again, no wind, no animals, no insects, nothing, just silence, complete, total, oppressive, like the forest was holding its breath. Like it was waiting, like something was coming. I went inside, locked the door, started a fire, made dinner, tried to act normal, tried to feel normal. Failed. The silence continued, all night. Absolute. I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, of being observed, of being studied. I kept checking windows, seeing nothing. Checking doors, still locked. Checking rooms, still empty. But the feeling remained, grew stronger, more certain. Real. Around midnight I heard it. Footsteps on the porch. Slow, deliberate, heavy. Walking from one end to the other, then back, then again. Pacing, I grabbed my phone. No signal, of course. I'd known that, expected that. But now it felt deliberate, felt planned, felt like a trap. The footsteps continued. I looked through the window, saw nothing. No movement, no shadow, no person. But the footsteps continued. On the wood, clear, distinct, real. I yelled, "Who's there?" Footsteps stopped. Silence. 5 seconds. 10. 15. Then knocking. Front door. 3 times. Loud. Demanding. I approached. Looked through peephole. Nobody. Nothing. Empty porch. Empty night. Empty everything. But I'd heard it. Heard them. Both. Footsteps and knocking. Clear. Undeniable. Real. I didn't open the door. Didn't respond. Just waited. Listening. The knocking came again. Same rhythm. Same volume. Same location. I checked the peephole again. This time, a face. Right against the glass. Inches away. Pale. Expressionless. Eyes too wide. Mouth too straight. Wrong. The same face. From the photo. From the abandoned cabin. From the old picture. Here. Now. Watching me. I screamed. Jumped back. The face disappeared. Knocking stopped. Footsteps retreated. Fading. Gone. Silence returned. I didn't sleep. Couldn't. Sat in the living room. Fire going. Lights on. Watching. The door. Watching the windows. Watching everything. Waiting for dawn. Waiting for safety. Waiting for escape. Morning came eventually. Gray. Cold. Lifeless. I packed immediately. Fast. Desperate. Leaving. Getting out. Going home. Screw the money. Screw the booking. Screw everything. I needed to leave. I loaded my car. Didn't look back. Didn't check the cabin. Didn't care. Started the engine. Put it in drive. Looked up at the rearview mirror. The cabin was behind me, and in the window. That same window. The face, watching me leave. Still expressionless. Still wrong. Still there. I drove. Fast. Reckless. Didn't care. Just needed distance. Needed civilization. Needed witnesses. Needed people. I got signal about 10 miles down. Called Margaret. Told her I had to leave early. Family emergency. She understood. Sweet as always. Asked if everything was okay with the cabin. If I'd enjoyed my stay. If I'd be leaving a review. I lied. Said everything was perfect. Beautiful place. Might come back. She thanked me. Said the cabin loved having me. Loved, present tense. Like it was alive. Like it had opinions. Like it could feel. I said goodbye. Hung up. Kept driving. Later I checked her profile. Read the reviews again. Really read them. Perfect getaway. So peaceful. Exactly what we needed. All 5 stars. All positive. But short. Oddly short. No details. No specifics. No stories. Just praise. Generic praise. Copy-paste praise. And I noticed the reviewers checked their profiles. All had one review. Only one. Margaret's cabin. Nothing else. No other stays. No other ratings. No other activity. Like they'd created accounts, left reviews, disappeared, or never existed, or something worse. I reported the listing. Suspicious. Activity. Fake reviews. Unsafe property. Airbnb investigated. Found nothing wrong. Margaret was legitimate. Cabin was registered. Reviews were real. All from verified accounts. All from real people. Real people who'd stayed there. Real people who'd left. Real people who'd never reviewed anything else. Ever again. The listing is still up. Still booking. Still 5 stars. Still $100 a night. Still too perfect. Still too cheap. Still waiting for the next guest. The next victim. The next person who needs escape. Who needs quiet. Who needs isolation. Who doesn't. No. Doesn't suspect. Doesn't realize. Until they see it. The face. In the window. Watching. Always watching. Because that cabin. That perfect cabin. That cheap cabin. That generations-old family cabin. It doesn't just provide shelter. It provides something else. Something to the thing inside. The thing that watches. The thing that waits. The thing that Margaret feeds. One guest at a time. One booking at a time. One review at a time. Forever. My uncle died in November. Uncle Dale, 71 years old, never married, no kids, just him and his cabin. Deep in the Smokies, Tennessee's side. We weren't close. Saw him maybe twice growing up. Thanksgiving once. Some random summer. He was quiet, awkward, preferred mountains to people. Preferred isolation to family. Preferred his cabin to everything. Made sense he'd die there, alone, in the place he loved. Rangers found him 3 weeks later. Heart attack probably. Natural causes. Quick death. Peaceful ending. That's what they said. That's what the report said. That's what I believed. Until I inherited the cabin. Until I went there. Until I learned the truth. The will was simple. Everything to me. Only nephew. Only family left. The cabin? 10 acres. Whatever contents remained. Lawyers said I should visit. Assess the property. Decide whether to keep or sell. Market was good. Remote cabins were popular. Airbnb. Potential. Investment opportunity. Made sense financially. Made sense practically. Made sense until I arrived. The drive took 6 hours. From Knoxville. Into the mountains. Deep. Remote. Last 30 miles were dirt road. Barely maintained. My GPS gave up. Had to use the lawyer's directions. Hand-drawn map. Detailed. Specific. Like someone had measured every turn. Counted every tree. Memorized every landmark. Uncle Dale probably. He'd lived there 40 years. Knew every inch. Every rock. Every route. Every secret. I arrived at dusk. December 18th. Sun setting fast. Temperature dropping faster. The cabin was dark, obviously. Power was probably off. Had been for weeks. Since Uncle Dale died. Since they removed his body. Since it became empty. Supposedly empty. I grabbed my flashlight, approached the front door, found the key where the lawyer said, under a specific rock, third from the left, painted white, oddly specific, oddly detailed, oddly prepared. Like Uncle Dale knew he'd die, knew I'd come, knew I'd need to find it. Exactly. Inside smelled terrible. Death, decay, rot, not from Uncle Dale. They'd removed him, cleaned up, sanitized everything. This was different, older, deeper, embedded in the wood, in the walls, in the foundation, like the cabin itself was dying, had been dying, for years, decades, since it was built maybe. I opened windows, aired it out, tried to. The smell remained, grew stronger actually, like opening the windows released something, awakened something, invited something. I ignored it, started exploring, assessing value, checking condition, deciding whether to keep or sell. The main room was basic, wood stove, old furniture, cluttered but organized. Uncle Dale's organization, his system, his logic made sense to him. Nobody else. Probably why he lived alone. I found his bedroom. Small, sparse, just a bed, a dresser, a closet, normal, expected. Then I found the basement. Hidden door, under a rug, under the kitchen table. Deliberately hidden, deliberately concealed, deliberately secret. The stairs were steep, narrow, dark. My flashlight barely penetrated. I descended anyway. Curious, stupid, doomed. The basement was huge, bigger than the cabin above. Way bigger. Impossible, really. The math didn't work. The dimensions didn't match. The space didn't fit. But it was there. Real. Existing. Expanding. The walls were stone. Wet. Covered in something. Moss, maybe. Mold, possibly. Something else, probably. And the smell. Down here it was overwhelming. Choking, gagging, death and rot and wrongness. All combined. All concentrated. All unbearable. I saw them. Doors. Dozens of doors. All around the basement. All closed. All locked, probably. All leading somewhere. Somewhere impossible. Somewhere wrong. Somewhere that shouldn't exist. Under a cabin. Under a mountain. Under reality. I approached the nearest door. Wooden. Old. Carved with symbols. Not words. Not pictures. Just symbols. Geometric patterns. Repeating. Hypnotic. Wrong. I touched it. The door was warm. Impossibly warm. Like something was behind it. Something alive. Something breathing. Something waiting. Here's where it gets worse. Where it gets real. Where it gets personal. So stay close. Keep watching. And if you haven't subscribed, do it now. Because these mountains hide things. These cabins contain things. These doors open to things. You don't want to face alone. I tried. The handle. Locked. Of course, I checked others. All locked. Every single one. Except the last. Far corner. Darkest spot. That door. It was open. Just slightly. Just enough. Just inviting. I approached. Pushed it wider. shined my light inside. Saw stairs, going down, further down, deeper, into earth, into darkness, into impossibility, because we were already underground, already in a basement, already beneath the cabin. These stairs went further, went deeper, went somewhere that couldn't. EXISTI descended, against reason, against instinct, against survival. The stairs were long, hundreds of steps, going down, spiraling, descending, into cold, into silence, into nothing. My flashlight started flickering, battery dying, or something, else something draining it, something feeding on it, something using the light to see me, to track me, to hunt me. I reached the bottom, a room, small, round, stone walls, and in the center, a well, old, ancient, brick construction, rope hanging, bucket attached, like a regular well, like a normal water source, except the smell coming from inside, that death smell, that rot smell, that wrong smell, all originating here, all coming from below, all rising from whatever was down there, in the darkness, in the depth, in the well. I looked over the edge, shined my light down, saw nothing, just darkness, absolute. My light couldn't penetrate, couldn't illuminate, couldn't reveal, like the darkness was solid, like it was physical, like it was alive. I dropped a rock, listened, waited, counted, 10 seconds, 20, 30. Never heard it land, never heard impact, never heard bottom, just silence, eternal silence, impossible depth, wrong physics. Then I heard it voice from the well, from below, from the darkness, calling my name. Uncle Dale's voice, exact, perfect, unmistakable. He said, "Come down, come see, come join," over and over, repeating, echoing, multiplying. One voice became two, two became four, four became dozens, all Uncle Dale, all calling, all inviting, all hungry. I ran up the stairs, through the door, through the basement, up to the cabin, out the front door, to my car, started it, drove, fast, abandoned everything. Luggage, coat, plans, just escaped, just survived, just fled. Behind me, in my rearview mirror, the cabin, lights on, every window, every room, every floor, glowing, bright, impossible, because there was no power, no electricity, no reason, just light, just glow, just wrongness. And in every window, figures, standing, watching, waving, all Uncle Dale, dozens of him, different ages, different eras, different times, all trapped, all collected, all contained, in the cabin, in the basement, in the well, forever. I called. The lawyer told him to sell, immediately, any price, any buyer, any terms, just get rid of it. He asked why. I couldn't explain, couldn't describe, Couldn't make sense. Just insisted. He agreed. Listed it. Sold it within a week. Cash buyer. No inspection. No questions. No contact. Just money. Just transfer. Just done. I never asked who bought it. Never wanted to know. Never cared. Just wanted it gone. Out of my name. Out of my life. Out of my nightmares. But I still dream about it. Every night. The basement. The doors. The stairs. The well. And Uncle Dale. All the Uncle Dales. All calling. All inviting. All promising. That someday, somehow, some way, I'll return. I'll visit. I'll descend. Into the basement. Through the door. Down the stairs. To the well. Where they're waiting. Where they're collecting. Where they're building. An army. A family. A collection of everyone who lived there. Everyone who died there. Everyone who belonged there. Forever. In the cabin. In the mountain. In the well. That has no bottom. No end. No escape. Just voices. Just calling. Just waiting. For the next owner. The next visitor. The next Dale. To join them. To become them. To stay. Forever. I needed money. December 2022. Between jobs. Bills piling up. Desperate. Found a posting online. Caretaker position. Remote cabin. West Virginia mountains. December through February. 3 months. Isolated. Alone. Pay was amazing. $3,000 a month. Plus room and board. Plus utilities. Just watch the property. Maintain the heat. Check for damage. Report any issues. Simple. Easy. Perfect. Too perfect, probably. Should have questioned it. Should have researched. Should have been smarter. But I needed the money. Needed it bad. Needed it enough to ignore the warnings. The red flags. The obvious problems. The owner was a guy named Robert. Never met him in person. Just phone calls. Emails. Texts. He was elderly, he said. Lived in Florida now. Too old for mountain winters. Too frail for isolation. Too sick for cold. But he loved the cabin. Loved the land. Loved the memories. Couldn't sell it. Wouldn't sell it. Just needed someone to watch it. Keep it alive. Keep it ready. For when he could return. For when he could visit. For when he could remember what it used to be. What it used to mean. What he used to do. He sent detailed instructions. Pages of them. How to maintain the fire. How to check the pipes. How to monitor the structure. And rules. Lots of rules. Don't go in the shed. Don't open the root cellar. Don't enter the back bedroom. Don't look in the mirrors after dark. Don't respond to knocking. Don't answer if something calls your name. Don't trust the footprints in the snow. Strange rules. Specific rules. Scary rules. I should have quit right then. Should have backed out. Should have run. But $3,000 a month. For 3 months. 9,000 total. More than I'd made all year. I couldn't walk away. Couldn't refuse. Couldn't resist. I arrived December 1st. First day of winter. First day of hell. The cabin was nice. Well maintained. Recently cleaned. Stocked with food. Stocked with firewood. Stocked with everything I'd need. For 3 months. For isolation. For survival. Robert had thought of everything. Anticipated everything. Prepared everything. Like he knew. Like he'd done this before. Like he'd sent others before me. To watch. To maintain. To survive. Or not. The first week was fine. Quiet. Peaceful. Exactly what I expected. I maintained the fire. Checked the pipes. Monitored everything. Did my job. Earned my pay. No problems. No issues. no weird stuff. The rules seemed silly, paranoid, unnecessary. Old man superstitions, mountain folklore, nothing real, nothing dangerous, nothing to worry about. I was wrong, so wrong, dangerously wrong. December 8th. First snow, heavy, unexpected. Weather forecast hadn't predicted it. Hadn't seen it coming, hadn't warned anyone. Just appeared, sudden, violent. Blizzard conditions in minutes. I was stuck, completely isolated. No way out, no contact, no escape. Just me, the cabin, the snow, and whatever else was out there. Had been waiting, had been preparing for this, for isolation, for helplessness. That night, the knocking started. Remember the rules. Don't respond to knocking. Now I understood. Now it made sense. Now I was terrified. The knocking came from everywhere. Front door, back door, windows, walls, ceiling, floor, all around, all night. Different rhythms, different patterns, different intentions. Some gentle, some demanding, some desperate, some angry, all persistent, all constant, all wrong. I followed the rules, didn't respond, didn't acknowledge, didn't react, just sat by the fire, watching, listening, waiting. The knocking continued all night, until dawn, until light, until it stopped, suddenly, completely, like it had never happened, like I'd imagined it, like I was crazy, but I wasn't. It was real. It happened. It would happen again, next night, same thing, knocking, everywhere, all night. Plus voices, calling my name, from outside, from inside, from everywhere, men, women, children, all saying my name, all asking to enter, all begging for help. Please let me in. I'm freezing. I'm lost. I'm dying. Please, please, please. Over and over, different voices, same message, same desperation, same lies, because I checked, looked out windows, saw nothing, nobody, just snow, just darkness, just empty forest. The voices were lies. The knocking was fake. The desperation was bait. For what? I didn't know, didn't want to know. Just wanted to survive. Just wanted to leave. Just wanted dawn. Let me tell you something. Something important. Something true. If you're alone in the mountains, if it's winter, if you hear knocking, don't answer. Don't look. Don't engage. Just wait. Just survive. Just remember. Some things pretend. Some things hunt. Some things wait for you to make a mistake, for you to break a rule, for you to open the door. And if you're watching this, if you're learning this, if you're preparing for this, subscribe, because these mountains teach lessons. These cabins hide secrets. These winters claim victims. And I'm trying to save you from what I learned, from what I survived, from what's still out there, waiting. December 15th, 2 weeks in, halfway through month 1, I was exhausted, sleep deprived, terrified, but alive. Still following rules, still surviving, still earning that money. Then I made a mistake, small mistake, stupid mistake, fatal mistake, almost. I looked in a mirror. After dark, bathroom, washing my face, forgot the rule, just for a second, just one glance, just one look, and I saw it, behind me, in the reflection, a figure, tall, dark, faceless, standing right behind me. Right there, right close. I spun around, nothing, empty bathroom, just me, just paranoia, just imagination. I looked back at the mirror. It was closer, inches from my reflection, reaching, almost touching, almost grabbing. I ran out of the bathroom, slammed the door, covered every mirror, every reflective surface. every possible window to my soul, to my safety, to my sanity. The activity increased every night, worse, louder, more aggressive, more creative. The knocking became pounding, the voices became screaming, the footsteps became running around. The cabin, on the roof, under the floor, everywhere, all around, all night, every night. Building, escalating, preparing for something, for someone, for me. December 20th. I checked my phone. 20 days left. 20 days to survive. 20 days to endure. Then I could leave, collect my money, never return. Just 20 more days. I could do it. Had to do it. Needed that money. Needed it desperately. Needed it enough to stay, to suffer, to risk everything. That night I heard it. From the back bedroom, the forbidden room, the locked room, the rule-protected room, crying, soft, quiet, heartbreaking. A child, sobbing, scared, alone, begging, help me, I'm cold, I'm afraid, please. My heart broke, my resolve weakened. My hand reached for the doorknob, for the lock, for the rule. I almost turned it, almost opened it, almost broke the rule. Then I remembered Robert's words, exact words. Whatever you hear from that room, whatever it says, whatever it sounds like, don't open the door. Don't ever open that door. Because it's not what you think. It's not who you think. It's not real. It's bait. It's trap. It's death. I pulled my hand back, walked away, let it cry, let it beg, let it fail, because it wasn't a child, wasn't human, wasn't real, just another test, another temptation, another way to claim me, to take me, to add me to whatever collection, whatever army, whatever hell was building in that room, had been building for years, for decades, for generations of caretakers, of victims, of fools who opened the door, who broke the rule, who never left. I survived, barely, 3 months, 90 days, 2,160 hours of terror, of isolation, of rules. I left March 1st, first day of spring, first day of freedom, first day of never returning. Robert paid me full amount plus bonus for completing the term, for following the rules, for surviving. He thanked me, said I did great, said the cabin appreciated it, said he'd recommend me for next year. I declined, politely, firmly, permanently, never again, never ever, never. But sometimes, late at night, during winter, during snow, during storms, I hear it, the knocking. Faint, distant, impossible. I'm hundreds of miles away, different state, different life, different reality. But I still hear it, still feel it, still know that cabin, those rules, that thing in the back bedroom still exists, still waits, still hunts for the next caretaker, the next victim, the next fool, who needs money, who ignores warnings, who thinks they can survive 3 months in a cabin, in the mountains, in winter, with rules, so many rules, rules that keep you alive, rules that keep it contained, rules that break eventually, because everyone makes mistakes, everyone breaks rules, everyone opens the door. We bought the cabin in October, my wife and I's retirement property. She'd always dreamed of mountain living, peace, nature, solitude. I wasn't sure, liked the city, liked convenience, liked neighbors you could see, but she convinced me, it'll be romantic, it'll be peaceful, it'll be perfect. We found a place in Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains. 2 bedrooms, modern amenities, recent renovation, and best part, neighbors, another cabin. Half-mile down the road, smoke from their chimney visible, company nearby, safety in proximity. Perfect compromise, perfect setup, perfect trap. We moved. In November 23rd, week before Thanksgiving. Wanted to settle in, get comfortable, host our first holiday in our new cabin, our new life. Our new beginning. The cabin was beautiful, better than photos, better than description, better than dreams. We were excited, happy, optimistic, naive. Third day there. My wife suggested visiting the neighbors, being friendly, being social, being good mountain folks. I agreed. We walked down the road, half-mile exactly. Found their driveway, well-maintained, recently plowed, recent tire tracks, fresh footprints. People were home, active, alive. We approached. The cabin was similar to ours. Same style, same size, same era, different color. Theirs was red, ours was brown. Small difference, only difference. Everything else matched. Exactly, impossibly, wrong. We knocked, waited, heard movement inside, footsteps approaching, door opening. A woman appeared, mid-60s, pleasant face, warm smile. She looked at us. Her smile faded. Her face went pale. Her eyes went wide. You bought it? Not a question? Statement? Fact? Realization? She looked behind us, at our cabin, visible from her porch, half-mile away. She looked back. I'm sorry. She said, I'm so sorry. She closed the door, locked it, didn't explain. Didn't elaborate, didn't help. Just sorry, and gone. We stood there, confused, concerned, scared. What did she mean? Sorry for what? Sorry about what? We knocked again. No answer. Called out. No response. Gave up. Walked home. Tried to forget. Tried to rationalize. Tried to ignore. The warning, the apology, the fear in her eyes. When she saw which cabin we'd bought, that night it started. Footsteps outside our cabin, walking around, circling, repeatedly. We looked out, saw nothing, used flashlights. Still nothing, just footsteps. Clear, heavy, constant, circling, all night. Until dawn, until light, until they stopped, suddenly, completely, like someone flipped a switch, like something went dormant. Like they only walked at night, in darkness, in winter. My wife was terrified, wanted to leave. I was skeptical. Probably animals, probably deer, probably normal. Mountain living, we'd adjust, we'd adapt, we'd survive. I was wrong, so completely. Wrong. Next morning we found them, footprints, in the snow, around the cabin, circling. Exactly where we'd heard. But they weren't deer, weren't animals, weren't normal. Human-shaped, barefoot, in December, in snow, in freezing temperatures, impossible, suicidal, insane. And there were dozens of them, different sizes, different gaits, different people, all barefoot, all circling, all night, walking, watching, waiting. We drove to the neighbor's cabin, daytime, safer, hopefully, knocked. The woman answered, same fear, same apology, same sorrow. I demanded answers, demanded explanation, demanded truth. She hesitated, looked around, whispered, they come at night, they circle, they choose. Usually takes a month, sometimes 2, depends on winter. Depends on cold, depends on them. But they always choose, always take, always claim. One of you, or both. Never neither. That's why it's cheap. That's why it's available. That's why nobody stays. The last couple lasted 2 months. January, they took the husband. she left. Cabin sat empty. Until you, until now, until them, stay. With me, this is important. This is real. This is happening right now to someone, somewhere, in a cabin. So subscribe. So remember. So survive. Because these stories aren't fiction, aren't folklore, aren't fantasy. They're warnings, they're testimonies, they're truths from people like me who survived, who escaped, who remember. I asked who they were, what they were, why they came. She didn't know, not exactly, just stories passed down, mountain legends, Cherokee warnings, old-timers' tales about the original settlers, first families, first winter, first deaths. They froze, starved, suffered, all of them, dozens, hundreds, entire settlements wiped out by cold, by hunger, by winter, but they didn't leave, didn't rest, didn't die properly, just froze, became something wrong, something hungry, something that walks at night in winter around cabins looking for warmth, for life, for victims, to join them, to freeze with them, to walk with them forever. She said we should leave immediately, before they chose, before they claimed, before it was too late. But we'd just bought it, just moved in, just invested everything. We couldn't leave, couldn't abandon, couldn't accept this insanity, this impossibility, this nightmare. We returned home, locked doors, checked windows, waited for night, for proof, for reality. They came, same as before, footsteps, circling, constant, but closer, right against the walls, against the windows, against the doors, testing, searching, trying to get in, to reach us, to claim us. We huddled together in the center room, fire burning, lights on, every light, every lamp, every source, hoping light stopped them, hoping warmth repelled them, hoping morning saved us. Dawn came, they left, we checked, more footprints, closer, nearer, tighter circles, and handprints, on windows, on doors, on walls, pressed against glass, against wood, against barrier, between us and them and the prints. They were wrong, fingers too long, palms too wide, skin too cold, frost formed where they touched, ice. Crystals spreading, growing, claiming, the cabin, the warmth, the life, inside, December 10th. We'd been there 17 days, 17 nights, 17 circles. Getting tighter, getting closer, getting ready. My wife was breaking, not sleeping, not eating, not coping. I wasn't much better, but stubborn, angry, refusing to be driven. How? Refusing to lose, refusing to accept that something could take what was mine. That night I waited, with my gun, with my courage, with my stupidity. The footsteps came. I went outside, flashlight, weapon, confrontation. I saw them, dozens, circling, walking, barefoot, naked, frozen, blue skin, white eyes, frost covering, everything. They stopped, looked at me, tilted heads, curious, amused, hungry. I raised my gun, fired, hit one. Sent a mass, perfect shot. It didn't fall, didn't react, didn't care. Just kept walking, kept circling, kept advancing. My bullets meant nothing. My gun was useless. My courage was fatal. They rushed me, all at once, converging, fast, impossibly. Fast. I ran, back inside, slammed door, locked it. They hit, all together, pounding, shaking, breaking, wood splintering, locks failing, barriers collapsing. My wife screamed. I grabbed her. We ran. Back bedroom. Locked that door to weak protection, temporary safety, borrowed time. The front door broke. They entered. We heard them. Inside. Walking. Searching. Hunting. Through our home. Through our sanctuary. Through our tomb. They reached our door. Started pounding. Started breaking. Started entering. We climbed out window. Ran. Through snow. Through forest. Through night. Behind us. They followed. Walking. Always walking. Never running. Never rushing. Never needing to. Because we'd tire. We'd slow. We'd freeze. Eventually. Inevitably. Fatally. We reached the neighbor's cabin. Pounded on door. Screamed for help. She opened. Pulled us in. Locked door. They surrounded her cabin. Too. Started circling. Started testing. Started claiming. She grabbed a book. Old. Leather. Handwritten. Opened it. Started reading. Language I didn't know. Words I didn't understand. Rhythm I couldn't follow. But they heard. They stopped. They read. Slowly. Reluctantly. Temporarily. Back to our cabin. Back to their circle. Back to their waiting, she explained. Her family built this cabin generations ago. Protected it. Warded it. Blessed it. The ritual kept them away. Kept her safe. Kept her alive. But only here. Only this cabin. Only this protection. Our cabin. Had nothing. Was nothing. Was bait. Built deliberately by the previous family to redirect them, to offer alternatives, to save themselves. By sacrificing others. By offering us. By feeding them. New victims. New warmth. New fuel. For their endless, frozen, walking, death, we left that night. Abandoned everything. Cabin, belongings, investment, lives. Just drove. Far, fast, forever. Away. The cabin still stands. Still listed. Still selling. To new victims. New fools. New fuel. Because they're always hungry. Always walking. Always waiting. For the next cabin. The next couple. The next winter. When the circles begin. When the barefoot prints appear. When the frozen dead. Come walking. Come circling. Come claiming. What's theirs. What's always been theirs. What will always be theirs. The warmth. The life. The living. In cabins. In mountains. In winter. Where the dead don't rest. Don't leave. Don't stop walking. I'm a writer. Freelance. Work from anywhere. Needed isolation. Needed focus. Needed deadline pressure. Rented a cabin. North Carolina mountains. Month-long stay. December. Write my novel. Finally finish. Finally succeed. Finally prove I could. Do it. The cabin was perfect. Small. Simple. Everything I needed. Nothing I didn't. Desk by window. Mountain view. Wood stove for heat. Total isolation. Perfect conditions. Perfect setup. Perfect horror. The owner mentioned a storm shelter. During check-in instructions, behind the cabin, underground, stocked with supplies. Just in case, bad weather, heavy snow, emergency situation, standard mountain preparation, normal precaution, nothing unusual. He gave me the key, showed me the entrance, said I. Probably wouldn't need it. Weather was supposed to be mild. Forecasts looked good, nothing concerning. He was wrong, so terribly, devastatingly, fatally wrong. I settled in, started writing. Progress was good. Finally, words flowing, story developing, characters living. I was focused, productive, happy. Then December 15th arrived. The forecast changed. Massive storm, unexpected, unpredicted, impossible, coming fast, coming hard, coming directly. At me, at the cabin, at the mountains, the owner called, said to stock up, prepare supplies, consider the shelter. If it got bad, if power failed, if the cabin became unsafe, better safe than sorry, than frozen, than dead. I prepared, bought food, filled water, stocked firewood, checked the shelter, just in case, just to know, just to be ready. The entrance? Was it hatch, heavy metal, rusted hinges, difficult to open, like it hadn't been used? In years, in decades, in forever, I forced it, squealing metal, protesting hinges, reluctant access. Inside was darkness, complete, total. I used my phone light. Saw stairs, concrete, descending, into earth, into cold, into unknown. I went down, curiosity, stupidity, writer's research. The shelter was bigger than expected, concrete room, maybe 12 by 12. Cots along walls, shelves with supplies, canned food, water bottles, blankets, everything needed for survival, for isolation, for imprisonment, and on the far wall, something else, a door, heavy, metal, like a vault, like a safe, like a seal. Keeping something in or out, I approached, read the sign, hand-painted, faded, old, do not open, do not enter, do not disturb, simple, clear, terrifying. I tried the handle, locked, obviously, probably for good reason, probably for safety, probably for survival. I left, climbed back up, closed the hatch, returned to the cabin, tried to forget, tried to focus, tried to write, but I kept thinking, that door, that sign, that warning, what was behind it? Why was it there? Who had locked it? And when? The storm hit December 16th. Night, sudden, violent, wind howling, snow blinding, power failing, immediately, completely, permanently. The cabin went dark, cold, vulnerable. The wood stove helped, barely. Temperature dropped fast, wind found. Every crack, every gap, every weakness, the cabin was shaking, groaning, suffering. I grabbed supplies, headed for the shelter, for safety, for warmth, for stupidity. Underground was better, quieter, warmer, protected. I set up, cat, blanket, flashlight, food, water, everything needed for the night, for the storm, for survival. Hours passed, storm continued, above ground, in the distance, irrelevant. I was safe, warm, alive. Then I heard it, from behind, the metal door, knocking, gentle, polite, 3 taps, pause, 3 more, pause, repeating. If you're still watching, if you're still listening, if you're still here, you know this doesn't end well. You know I should have left, you know I should have run, but I didn't, and neither would you, because curiosity, because isolation, because human nature. So subscribe, stay close, learn from my mistakes, from my stupidity, from my survival. If I survived, if I escaped, if I'm really still alive, telling this, or if I'm something else. Something changed, something wrong, something that came back different. The knocking continued, all night, every few minutes, patient, persistent, polite, like someone waiting, like someone asking, like someone needing permission to enter, to exit, to exchange places with me. I ignored it, tried to sleep, tried to forget, impossible. The sound echoed, reverberated, consumed the small space, the concrete walls, the trapped air, amplifying, magnifying, maddening, Morning came. Storm continued. Knocking stopped. I checked supplies. Enough for days. Enough for weeks. Enough for indefinite entrapment. The thought terrified me. Trapped underground. With that door, with that knocking, with whatever was behind it, waiting, asking, knowing I was there. I was alone. I was vulnerable. Day 2, storm raged. Knocking resumed. Louder, more insistent, more demanding. 3 knocks, 3 more, 3 more, faster, harder, angrier, like patience was ending, like politeness was fading, like force was coming. I checked the door, still. Locked, still sealed, still holding, but the knocking, it was strong, too strong. Like whatever was hitting, was heavy, was powerful, was wrong. Day 3. Storm peaked. Knocking changed, became scratching, became digging, became breaking. Metal on metal, grinding, scraping, weakening. The door was failing, the lock was breaking, the seal was compromising. Whatever was inside was getting out, was coming through, was claiming freedom, space, me. I grabbed the hatch, tried to leave, tried to escape, tried to run, frozen shut, ice, snow, weight, trapping me below. Trapping me with it, with whatever was breaking through, was emerging, was hunting. I pounded, screamed, begged. No one heard, no one came, no one cared. Just me, the shelter. The door, the thing, behind it, coming through, coming for me, coming to replace what it lost, what it needed, what I was. The door buckled, metal shrieked, lock shattered, it opened, slowly, deliberately, dramatically, revealing darkness, movement, shape, coming through, coming toward, coming for me. I saw it, briefly. Flashlight dying, battery fading, light dimming, but enough to see, enough to understand, enough to know I was doomed. It was human-shaped, but wrong. Skin, gray, eyes empty, mouth too wide, grinning, always grinning, like it knew, like it had one, like this had happened before, many times, many victims, many replacements, for whatever. It was, for whatever it needed, for whatever I'd become. I don't remember clearly. What happened next? Pain, cold, change, becoming something else, something wrong, something that needed out, needed warmth, needed living, to replace, to renew, to continue existing in the shelter, in the mountain, in the dark, waiting for storms, for victims, for fools who check the shelter, who stay overnight, who hear the knocking. I woke up in the cabin, storm over, power restored, everything normal, like nothing happened, like I dreamed it, like I imagined it. But I know, I feel, I understand. Something changed, something's wrong, something's different. I'm colder, always cold, can't get warm, can't feel heat, can't stop grinning, this wide grin, this constant smile, this wrong expression that I can't control. Can't stop, can't hide. I left immediately, didn't pack, didn't clean, didn't explain, just drove home. To normalcy, to civilization, to witnesses. But the cold remains, the grin remains, the knowing remains. That I'm not what I was, not completely, not anymore, not ever again, because something came back instead of me, or with me, or as me, and now it waits for winter, for cold, for the chance to return to the shelter, to the cabin, to the door, and wait for the next storm, the next victim, the next replacement. While I smile, always smile, this wrong, wide, knowing smile. My sister invited us, Christmas gathering, her new cabin, somewhere in Kentucky, remote, beautiful, perfect for family reunion, first time in years, all of us together, mom, dad, brother, me, sisters, family, husband, 2 kids, perfect holiday, perfect location, perfect setup for what happened, for what we found, for what found us. We arrived December 23rd, evening. The cabin was huge. 3 stories, modern, new construction. Sister said they'd built it last year. Their dream, their investment, their pride. It was impressive, I'll give her that. Expensive, custom, professional, way beyond their budget. Way beyond their income, way beyond normal. I asked how they'd afforded it. She smiled, said they got a deal. Previous owner left suddenly, sold cheap, needed immediate sale, lucky timing, perfect opportunity, perfect price for perfect nightmare. That first night was great, family together, good food, good wine, good conversation, catching up, sharing stories, making memories, being family. I went to bed happy, content, grateful, woke up screaming, 3 a.m., nightmare, terrible nightmare, being trapped, being hunted, being changed into something wrong. I chalked it up, too much wine, too much food, too much excitement, nothing serious, nothing real, nothing warning, me, breakfast, everyone looked tired, everyone slept poorly, everyone had nightmares. Different scenarios, same feeling, same terror, same wrongness. We laughed it off. New cabin, unfamiliar beds, altitude, something, anything, nothing supernatural, nothing impossible, nothing true. We continued. Christmas. Preparations, cooking, decorating, being family, ignoring the signs, the warnings, the truth that something was very wrong here. December 24th, Christmas Eve. The kids found something in the basement, playing, exploring, being kids. They found a room, locked, hidden, behind shelving, behind storage, behind deliberate concealment. My brother-in-law got tools, forced the door, curious, stupid, doomed. Inside was empty, mostly just concrete. Walls, floor, ceiling, and symbols carved everywhere, covering every surface, every inch, every possible space. Not words, not pictures, just symbols, geometric, repeating, hypnotic, wrong. My sister recognized some from her research, from her planning, from her due diligence that she'd done before buying, before building, before moving. Here, protection symbols, warding signs, binding circles, Cherokee, she thought, or older, much older, predating everything, everyone, every known civilization. In these mountains, these symbols were sealing something, containing something, protecting everyone from something that lived here, that claimed here, that owned here. My brother-in-law laughed, said previous owner was crazy, superstitious, paranoid. Mountain folklore, nothing real, nothing dangerous, nothing concerning. The kids wanted to paint it, use it as playroom, gaming space, perfect basement room for them. My sister hesitated. Something felt wrong, felt unsafe, felt forbidden, but the kids begged. Her husband insisted. Everyone encouraged. What harm could it do? Painting symbols, covering protection, releasing something, that night, Christmas Eve, everything changed. Footsteps. Throughout the cabin, all night, all levels, all directions, multiple, overlapping, impossible. We checked. Every time, found nothing, saw nothing, just empty rooms. Hallways, spaces, but footsteps continued, constant, relentless, walking. Searching, claiming, Christmas morning, we found them. Gifts, not from us, not from anyone, just appeared. Under the tree, wrapped, tagged, our names, each of us, one gift, each. We didn't open them, didn't want to, didn't dare, but curiosity. Always, wince, Mom opened first. Inside, a photo of her, sleeping, last night, in her room, in her bed. In this cabin, impossible. Nobody took it, nobody could've. Nobody was there, but someone, something, had been watching, recording, claiming. This is the part where you need to pay attention, where you need to remember, where you need to understand that some places aren't meant for living, aren't meant for families, aren't meant for joy. They're meant for other things, darker things, hungrier things. So if you're watching, if you're learning, if you're caring, subscribe, because I'm trying to warn you, to save you, to stop you from making the same mistakes we did. Each gift, same thing. Photos of us, sleeping, eating, showering, private, intimate, vulnerable, all taken, here, in this cabin, this new cabin, this safe cabin, this watched, documented, claimed cabin. We were terrified, wanted to leave, immediately. But the road was blocked. Fresh snow, heavy accumulation, impossible conditions. We were trapped, for now, for Christmas, for whatever came next. That night, the worst night, the true Christmas. The real celebration of whatever owned this place. The footsteps became voices, our voices, calling to each other from different rooms, from different floors, from different realities. Mom, help me, in my brother's voice, but he was right. There, silent, terrified, not calling, Dad, come here, in my sister's voice, but she was right there, crying, shaking, not calling. All night, our voices, calling, luring, separating, hunting. We stayed together, central room, fire going, lights on, everyone visible, everyone accountable, everyone terrified. The voices got frustrated, got angry, got honest, stopped mimicking, started demanding, get out, leave, this is mine, was always mine, will always be mine. Deep voice, ancient voice, wrong voice, not human, not animal, not animal, not anything that should exist, speak, claim. My brother-in-law finally believed, finally understood, finally accepted. We needed to leave, immediately, storm or not, road or not, death by exposure, better than death by this. We packed, fast, essentials only, headed for cars. The door wouldn't open, windows wouldn't break, walls wouldn't budge. The cabin was holding us, keeping us, claiming us, as payment, as price, as sacrifice, for living here, for painting there, for releasing it, the basement, the symbols we needed to restore them, to repaint them, to reseal it. We grabbed paint from garage, from storage, from anywhere, rushed downstairs to the room, the hidden room, the sealed room, and found it wasn't empty anymore. They were there. Figures, dozens, standing, silent, watching, previous owners, previous families, previous victims, All there, all frozen, all displayed. Like statues, like trophies, like collection of everyone who'd lived here, who'd broken seals, who'd released. The claim, the ownership, the entity that collected families. Memories, lives, forever. We ran, back upstairs, tried again. To leave, to escape, to survive. My dad grabbed an axe from the garage, started hitting the door, the wall, the window, anything, everything. Desperate, finally, something broke. Window, small opening, enough. Maybe we climbed through. One by one, cut, bleeding, desperate, into snow, into storm, into freedom. Maybe we ran. 2 cars, mine started, miracle. We piled in, all of us, cramped, scared, alive, drove, through snow, through storm, through impossible conditions, but alive, still alive, somehow alive. We made it, to town, to civilization, to witnesses, called authorities, reported everything, they investigated, found nothing, no bodies, no figures, no evidence. Just empty, basement, with symbols, painted over, recently, and a cabin. Standing empty, again, listed for sale, again, by my sister, who couldn't explain, couldn't remember, couldn't understand why she'd ever wanted it, bought it, built that room, those seals, that protection. She'd never, she swears, she'd never done that, never seen those symbols, never knew about protection or need for it. The cabin sold fast, cash buyer. No inspection, no questions, new family taking possession this spring, moving in, summer, planning their first Christmas together in their new cabin that's waiting, that's watching, that's collecting. I manage vacation rentals, property management company, 20 cabins across Appalachia, good business, steady income, happy clients, usually, until cabin 17, until last December, until the incident that ended everything, that changed. Everything that proved everything. Cabin 17 was problem property, high turnover, bad reviews, constant complaints, guest after guest. Same issues, strange noises, unexplained events, feeling watched, feeling unwelcome, feeling hunted. We'd investigated multiple times, found nothing. No structural issues, no pest problems, no reasonable explanation, just guests leaving early, demanding refunds, never returning. December brought final guest, James Mitchell, single guy, mid-30s, booked 4 nights, December 20th through 24th, Christmas alone. By choice, recent divorce, needed isolation, needed healing, needed peace. We warned him about complaints, about history, about problems. He didn't care, said he didn't believe in ghosts, in hauntings, in anything supernatural, perfect, skeptic, perfect, victim, perfect, end. He checked in Thursday, December 20th, evening, texted confirmation, said cabin was great, better than expected, better than reviews, suggested he'd be fine. We relaxed. Maybe this time would be different. Maybe the streak would end. Maybe the cabin would behave. We were so wrong. Friday morning, no contact, normal, guests, enjoy, privacy, isolation, silence. We didn't worry. Didn't check, didn't interfere. Professional distance, professional mistake, professional negligence. That afternoon, text arrived from James. Strange message, incomplete thoughts, broken sentences. Something here, not alone, watching, always watching, from the walls, from the mirrors, from everywhere. We called, no answer. Called again, nothing. Drove up, to check, to help, to save him. Arrived, 6 p.m., cabin dark, car present, door locked. We knocked, called out, no response. Used master key. Entered, cabin empty, but wrong. Everything moved, furniture rearranged, against walls, against windows, against doors, creating barrier, creating protection, creating fortress. Against what? We didn't know. We searched every room, every closet, every space. Found him in basement, sitting, corner, rocking, mumbling, unresponsive, eyes wide, staring at nothing, at everything, at something we couldn't see. We tried, talking, helping, moving him. He screamed, "Don't let it touch me. Don't let it take me. Don't let it replace me." Over and over, screaming, terrified, broken. We called ambulance, police, help. They came, assessed him, took him, hospital, psychiatric hold, evaluation, treatment. They asked, what happened? We didn't know, couldn't explain, couldn't understand. Just found him like that, in that state, in that cabin. Before you think I'm crazy, before you stop watching, before you leave, listen. Just listen to what we found after he left, after we cleaned, after we documented everything that proved everything that changed, everything that ended everything. So subscribe, so you'll know, so you'll believe when it happens to you in a cabin in the mountains in winter. We cleaned the cabin next day, company policy reset for next guest. If there was one, we started basement where we'd found him rocking, screaming, breaking, and we saw it on the wall where he'd been staring, writing. Fresh blood, his blood from his fingers, raw, bleeding from writing, from documenting, from warning. The message said, it takes your face, wears your skinned, becomes you, perfect copy, perfect replacement, perfect lie, then it leaves in your body, with your life, with your identity, and you stay here. In the walls, in the cabin, in the collection, forever, watching, waiting, wanting to warn the next one, the next guest, the next you, but you can't move, speak, warn, just watch, just suffer, just exist as it did to me, did to others, will do to you. Don't stay, don't sleep, don't trust. The reflection, that's not you, not anymore, not ever again. We photographed everything, documented everything, reported everything to authorities, to owners, to everyone. Investigation followed, found nothing, no evidence of anyone else, no signs of struggle, no proof of anything unusual, just James having breakdown, having episode, having delusion. That's what they said, that's what they ruled, and that's what they believed. But James never recovered, still hospitalized, still nonverbal, still staring at nothing, at walls, at whatever he sees that we don't, that we can't, that we won't ever understand unless we stay there, in that cabin, in that basement, in that corner, where something waits, where something watches, where something replaces. Company pulled, listing, cabin 17, permanently offline. No more guests, no more rentals, no more victims. Owner hired specialists, paranormal investigators, researchers, experts. They came, they studied, they concluded nothing, no activity, no entities, no evidence, clean property, safe space, recommended relisting, but I refused. Quit company, walked away from everything, because I know, I saw, I believe something's there, something's real, something's collecting faces, lives, people in that cabin, in that basement, in that wall, where dozens have stayed, have broken, have become part of something wrong, something old, something that needs bodies, needs faces, needs lives to continue, to exist, to spread. And here's the thing, the terrifying thing, the real thing. James checked out. According to records, December 21st, day after breakdown, day after hospital, day after everything. Someone using his account, his credit card, his identity, checked out. Normally left review 5 stars. Perfect getaway, perfect isolation, perfect experience. Highly recommend. Will return soon. Posted from his account, from his phone, from his IP address. But James was in hospital, in restraints, in observation. Couldn't have posted, couldn't have checked out, couldn't have left unless something else did. Something wearing his face, using his identity, living his life. Well, he, the real, he, the original, he stays in that basement, in that wall, in that wall, in that collection, forever watching the next guest, the next victim, the next face, to steal, to where, to become. The cabin still stands, still exists, still waits, unlisted, but available if you know, if you ask, if you're desperate enough, isolated enough, stupid enough to ignore this warning, this story, this truth about Cabin 17. About remote cabins, about Appalachia, where some things don't haunt, don't scare, don't kill, they replace, they become, they continue wearing your face, living your life, being you better than you ever were, while you watch from the walls, from the collection, from the nothing that you've become forever.